Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching, always encouraging your self-reliance. If you'll set a goal for yourself, chase that goal with a solid work ethic, develop some people and communication skills, always go the extra mile in whatever you do, you'll be amazed at what you can do in this country. A big thank you to about 580 people that have subscribed to this channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. If you haven't already, please do so. I'd super appreciate it. And a big shout out and thank you to over 35,000 people that have viewed this channel for over about the last 25 months or so. So I do appreciate that too. I have a real neat young lady here that's doing something very, very cool, Chyanne Hart. So Chyanne, tell us about your business, how you got it started. And I'm going to pepper you with some questions as we're going here.
Sure, absolutely. So, as Tim said, my name is Chyanne Hart. I'm the owner of CAAM Logistics. I started my company in October of 2020. I ended up being let go from a job that I swore up and down I was going to retire from. But one door closes, a million other ones open, so it was perfect timing. That was the beginning of 2020. It was in the heat of COVID. A lot of small businesses started taking a hit as far as, retaining employees. So when that ended up happening, I sat across the summer and was like, what am I going to do? What's something I enjoy doing? To which I live, eat, sleep, breathe the trucking company or trucking industry. My parents have a trucking company. They've had their company for many years now. And I really enjoyed the industry. It's a huge family. When you meet new people all the time, every single day, we're talking to somebody new, and developing those connections and those business relationships was awesome. Obviously, being younger, it's not like I had $500,000+ sitting in my back pocket that I could start a trucking company as much as I would have loved to. So I opted in for the brokering side. So basically what a freight broker does is they work as a middleman or a liaison, however you want to word it. So we have customers and then we have carriers. So the carriers are the trucking companies, anywhere from, corporate fleet companies to your mom and pop owner operators that maybe only have one or two trucks. Customers come to us, they say, hey, we have, this product. It has to go on this type of trailer. It has to go from this point to this point. Do you guys have any trucks available? Then what we do is we go back to the carriers that we've developed relationships with and say, hey, we have a customer that has this product that has to go on this type of trailer, has to go from this point to this point. Do you guys have any availability? And we coordinate everything. So it saves the customers the overhead of hiring somebody in-house. Whereas for the trucking companies, it helps them from also hiring somebody in-house to coordinate all of their arrangements. So instead of them having to do all the customer outreach and developing those relationships, we're kind of like the central hub for that.
Sure. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And obviously, if they have to do this in-house, then you're looking at potential benefits and a variety of things. You guys probably pretty much work under like a 1099 subcontractor. Would that be accurate?
So for our carriers, they are all 1099 at the end of the year. So the only quote expenses that I have are under my office itself. We are required to have pretty hefty insurances because we also have to carry insurances for the trucking companies. So in a hypothetical context, if we have a customer that says, hey, we have this product, we book the truck, everything's good to go. But let's say they forgot to pay their insurance premium yesterday. They take the product tomorrow, and let's say somebody hits them or they're not paying attention and they rear end somebody and there's, product that's damaged. We're also responsible for carrying insurance to ensure we don't have any issues as far as the product itself is concerned. Okay. So, that is a pretty hefty expense, especially with the market right now. It has increased quite a bit compared to 2 years ago when I started. But again, it's the market, it's the times that we're in, it's the industry. It's a roller coaster. Some days are super easy and straightforward, other days not so much.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is that you guys carry it like a secondary backup insurance. Would that be
correct?
accurate?
So we have to have like a cargo insurance, automotive insurance that would basically cover the trailer and the trucks, just in case for whatever reason. Let's say if the trucking company didn't quite have enough coverage for whatever reason, or the limits, that the customer is losing out on exceeds the trucking company's limits, then we at least have that as what we call a safety net. That's the best way to explain it.
Yeah, very good, very good. And if Cheyenne, if you could kind of discuss, what is kind of your ideal client as far as what you're looking to be able to connect with.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So we've been really blessed with a lot of local trucking companies.
Hmm.
I am a huge, huge, huge advocate for small businesses. I genuinely believe that all of these large corporate companies, they started off small at one point, whether it was 50 years, 5 years ago, however long. So as far as the trucking companies are concerned, I mean, we have such incredible relationships, and our goal is to keep those companies moving. So we are onboarding new clients or new customers. Ideally, we want somebody who shares the same morals as we do.
Hmm.
Everybody, as far as my staff is concerned, we all come from trucking backgrounds. We have immediate family members, down to spouses that are, they have their CDLs and they're out running the roads right now. And we really believe that that's important, that our customers and our shippers or warehouses, whomever we work with, understand that these are still people.
Hmm.
We advocate for, being honest, being transparent, and maintaining integrity. We want to show our true colors. Other brokerages, I don't want to talk poorly, but there's a lot of freight brokers, unfortunately, that have made a rapport for themselves by being very shady. I hate
Hmm.
saying it, but
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah.
And I'm sure I could list off the larger names of people who are familiar in the trucking industry. You say TQL or CH Robinson or these other nationally known companies, and some may love them, some may hate them. It depends on their experiences. But our goal is to develop and maintain long-standing
Hmm.
relationships.
Yeah,
We understand with the influx, right now is the holiday season. So we may be needed a little bit more now versus where we may not be needed as much in March or April, where it's a little bit slower.
hmm.
We understand that. But our biggest thing is we want to develop relationships that we can have 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Sure.
So yeah.
Well, and I worked under a guy named Jay Abraham, and I want to give him full credit on this. He says there's only three variables in the buying uh, scenario, and the hardest one is getting the customer in the first place. Okay.
Correct.
Then number two is, let's say, the frequency of sale that you
Mhm.
can have with that particular customer. And again, you're talking long term, so you want these people to come back to you over and over again. And then the other one is potentially the upsell. Hey, by the way, we can also do this for you. We can bundle things together so that we can actually, create more value for you as our customer. So you're obviously doing number two and number three very, very well, which means you're looking to do the long
Yep.
term scenario of establishing that relationship. So you are absolutely got a great model going, Cheyenne. I really applaud you on that.
Well, thank you. And, trying to get the customers, there's thousands of brokerages all across the United States. I will say that I feel like we're one in a million because a lot of brokerages have kids that are right out of high school that honestly they get thrown into something that they have no clue about.
Sure.
From our side, with all of us having trucking industry background, we know, okay, so for a couple hundred miles, we know the time span of how long it should take. So if a driver is supposed to be, let's say, 500 miles within 10 hours,
Hmm.
and they're only at 200 miles by those 10 hours, okay, what's going on?
Sure.
We're trying to problem solve at that point and trying to figure out what exactly is going on. And I will say too, we're all females in here.
Hmm.
So we're very organized, very detailed. And, our thing is too, is when we're doing our job, we expect everybody else to be able to do theirs, especially with the carriers. If there's an issue, give us a call. We
Right.
understand that stuff happens. There's accidents, there's traffic or road
Hmm.
constructions or detours. As long as that communication is maintained, we're golden.
Sure. Sure. Well, and I got to meet you and your team there a few weeks ago at Chad's Forry's class there at Northeastern, and you got to see his CDL simulator as well as the vehicle simulators, and he's really done a great job up there promoting the trucking and CDL industry. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I ran into Chad the other night. As it turns out, our kiddos go to the same school. So they're both in first grade. So
Mhm.
I was chatting with him a little bit again, and I really commend him for what he's doing because he really is pushing the future of trucking.
Yeah.
You have these high school kids that, they come from all different areas, all different backgrounds, and they're getting the opportunity to learn more about the trucking industry, what it entails, and how to reach those goals. And Chad is just an incredible person with such an enthusiasm for those
Mhm.
kids. And he's going to go very, very, very far. And any kid that learns under him is equally going to go far.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely agree with that. We had a young man. Now he didn't go through Saeed's class. Or through Chad's classes. His name is Saeed. He graduated in 2021. He went to a local school in the summer of 22, I think it was. And he is so. I actually have him on here as an interview. A couple people back here on this channel, and he is so excited about it because. And he told me, he says he's pretty much, and he's home every night. Now he has some long days. He's driving pretty much within Pennsylvania, but he is very, very close to here. He is just getting out of high school, not even probably 20 years old, maybe 19 or 20, somewhere's in there. And he's going to be pushing, 6-figure income, which is amazing for somebody that young. So anybody who's really young and getting involved, not sure what you want to do. Well, I'll tell you, I'm talking to a lot of kids. Get that CDL. It's just a phenomenal license that you can have.
Absolutely. And the nice thing about the trucking industry is there's so many different niches that you can get into. If you're not quite jiving with one area, there's
Mhm.
bound to be another area that you're going to feel like you fit into that piece of the puzzle.
Sure, absolutely. Cheyenne, this has been wonderful. What advice would you give along with what you kind of just said there regarding young people or anybody else that wants to get into the trucking industry? Any other advice you'd have there?
So, as far as the trucking industry is concerned, like I said, I mean, it's always worth looking into. I've always been one, explore your options.
Hmm.
I honestly, in high school, I was in a CNA program. I wanted to be a nurse. If
Hmm.
you would have told me, 15 years ago that I would have a brokerage and I would have a staff and a beautiful office facility, I would have looked at you and laughed. But now, I'm basically living my dream. I get to wake up, be involved in the trucking industry, develop these amazing relationships. And it just goes to show, like I said earlier, when one door closes, there's a
Hmm.
million other ones that'll open for you.
Sure.
And it's just a matter of maintaining that, positive mindset and
Hmm.
just trying your hardest, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. No, what very well said. Uh, well, Cheyenne, this has been wonderful. Can you hang for a couple minutes or a minute or two
Absolutely.
after we get finished here?
Absolutely.
Okay, and also, could you give your contact information? I'm going to put it at the very top of this, but go ahead and say it. And what I'll
Sure.
do is the best way for them to contact you.
Yep. So we do have a couple options available. Our website is caamlogistics.com and it's CAAM as in Mary logistics.com. We do have a brick and mortar location in the heart of Strasburg. We're very conveniently located directly across the road from a Rudders. So any trucking companies,
That's
they have
Strasburg and Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
correct.
This
Yep.
go this will go to a lot of people, so I want to let them know you're in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yep, Lancaster County. We're right in the historic district of Strasburg, directly across from Rudders. So we have a lot of our trucking companies that
Mhm.
whenever they're in the area, they'll park over there. There's a sidewalk that comes right across to us.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, so we're pretty easy to access. All of us have emails, and I'll make sure all of those are given to
Yeah.
you. We have different methods of contact, if people need quotes or if they're looking to be onboarded as a carrier.
Mhm.
We have different emails and different contacts, and we're always really great with getting back to people.
Super, super. Okay, well, just send me that, and
Sure.
we'll take it from there. Thanks, Cheyenne. This was wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.